Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Rebecca Stew and the crew. I'm Rebecca and I'm so excited to have you guys here today for this Dollar Tree DIY. The supplies we'll need for our very first project today are these 8x10 DIY acrylic boards. I'll use 6 of the 5x7 size and 6 of the 4x6 size. If you can't find those at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby sells them in the wood aisle. They're about $3.99 for the 8x10 size, which is often 50% off with their weekly sales. We'll need a razor blade and a ruler and lots of different sizes of ornaments. I chose to use the pink and gold because that's a very popular color scheme this year for Christmas. We'll need some super glue, or you can use the Gorilla super glue. That would work well. Here are some different ribbon sizes and different colors of your choice. We'll also need some different things to decorate the tops of our boxes, like the snowy branches, some poinsettias, or some pine needles. Also some LED lights, hot glue, scissors, and some sanding blocks or sandpaper. So let's get crafty. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the ends of our boxes. So to do that, we're going to take the 8x10 acrylic panel. We'll cut 2 of them down to an 8x8 square. Then the 5x7s will need 2 5x5 inch squares, and the 4x6 will need 2 4x4 squares. These will be the top and bottom of our boxes. So as you can see, I'm just scoring through the acrylic panel with my razor blade. I do that about 10 times, pushing down kind of hard. Once I have that done, I'm just going to push down on the acrylic board with my ruler right on the line that I scored and pull up on the acrylic panel until it snaps. If it seems like it's too hard and it's not going to snap, then go ahead and score it a few more times and it should break off quite easily. If you have a few pieces that are sticking out or not super clean, you can go ahead and clean that up with scissors or some wire cutters. Now we're going to take our acrylic panels and lay them side by side and use a little bit of masking tape to just tape them together. Just one piece will do to hold each one together, and we're going to remove this as soon as we put our boxes together. So this tape's going to end up on the inside of the box, so don't forget to take it out before you glue the top and bottom on. That's very important. So all we're going to do is take our Gorilla Glue once we have our box all lined up. And I did add some extra tape, as you can see here. I kept knocking it over recording because I'm making sure I'm in frame. So I made sure to add lots of tape. You guys don't have to add that much tape. So then we're going to sand the top and bottom of the box, the edge that I cut. If it was a little bit rough, go ahead and sand it down. That should help smooth it out. Just making sure it fits before I glue everything together. Now taking that Gorilla Glue, I just do a few dots down the side of the panel and then stick the 2 pieces together. As you notice, I just removed the tape to one side. That allows me to open up the side panel and glue the pieces together. So then you can see here, I just removed the tape, but just on the one side. I open up the box, add some super glue, and then close it up and replace the tape. And I do this all the way around, and by the time I get to the last section, it's all dry all the rest of the way down and ready for me to remove the tape, which I'm doing here. And don't forget, again, to remove the tape from the inside of the box. I clean it up with a paper towel and some glass cleaner, and then I glued the bottom of the box on. And now we're ready to start filling it. So I'm going to take these LED lights and put those in first. I just kind of twisted them into a circle and then pulled on them so they made a coil, and then put that in the box. And then I start filling the box with my ornaments. Now you want to be careful that you don't end up with all the same color together, so I keep alternating sizes and colors as I go. And then I pick up the box and check to see if there's any large spaces where there are no ornaments, and if it is, then I pick it out, add some smaller ones in to fill in the space until the whole thing is full. So once that's done, just add some super glue to the top of your box around all 4 edges and put the top on. And you'll want to hold that in place or put something heavy on top of it for a few minutes until it dries. For the large box, I used these snowflake lights just because the box was so large, I thought it needed a little bit extra light. Now we're not going to glue the battery door down to the boxes. We want to make sure that we can replace the batteries and reach the on-off switch. So all I do is I start decorating the boxes with ribbon, just like you would a Christmas present. And by doing this, I'm just tying the ribbon really tight around the top and tucking the battery door underneath of the ribbon so I can slide it out, change the batteries, and I'm always making sure as I'm decorating the box that I can reach the on-off switch. That's very important. So for this box, I'm using that glitter ribbon from Dollar Tree. I don't know how I feel about it. It's really pretty, but it sure makes a mess when you're decorating with it, but it's really gorgeous when it was done. So I'm kind of mixed on the ribbon. But I do like the way it looks when it was all done here, but you can see I just keep adding ribbon and I dovetail the ends to make it look a little bit more decorative. And never do I glue that battery door down. I just keep hiding it under the ribbon. And the more you add, the better it is and you don't see it. I think I could have used a different color battery. It probably would have blended in even better, but I just used what I had on hand. So then I've got this little bit thinner ribbon I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to layer that on top of the gold ribbon. And we're going to, again, just dovetail the ends to make it a little bit more decorative. If you're afraid of the ribbon fraying, you can very lightly take a lighter and just light it underneath of, hold the flame underneath of the ribbon for a second, and it will kind of sear the edges so it doesn't fray. Now this is one of the larger boxes that I'm doing right here, and I decided to go ahead and use the wide pink ribbon on the box first and then layer the gold on top of this one. So I did this one a little bit different, and this box here is the 5x7 size that has all the 5x7 acrylic panels. So I'm just gluing that gold ribbon to the top of the pink ribbon. And again, I just tied it at the top with that pink ribbon to hide the battery door. It's not glued on to the box at all. So I'm just going to take that gold ribbon and tuck it underneath of the little ties there and hide it underneath. And then again, if you need to cut these a little bit shorter, sometimes I cut them a little bit longer because I'm not really sure how long I want them to be. So I always leave them a little bit longer because you can always take more off, but you can't put it back on. I'm a hairdresser and that is the rule. You can't put it back on, so you always cut less. Go back in if you need to. Now the ribbon again is a little bit wide, so I folded it in half so you'd still be able to see that pink ribbon underneath. And then I just keep layering it, and then we'll decorate the top of the box. So I have these pine needles I picked up at Dollar Tree. They sell them with, I think it's like 6 in a pack for $1.25. And they're quite large. I actually cut one in half, and I was able to use just 2 picks to decorate the top of this box. I do add a little bit of that Gorilla Glue and some hot glue to make sure that this holds up over time. And I just keep going around the box. Now again, don't glue anything to the top of that battery door. Now we'll make a really nice bow for the top of our boxes. I just cut a few pieces of ribbon that are about 8 inches long, and this is for the extra large box, the 8x10 size. So these are a little bit longer than I would use for the smaller boxes, but I'm making all 3 at the same time. I'm kind of alternating back and forth between them in this video, so I'm kind of decorating them all and recorded different parts of it. So this is for the really big box, and as you can see, I just take the ribbon. I add a little dot of hot glue right in the middle of that ribbon and fold it in half, and then add another dot of hot glue on each side and fold the ends of the ribbon backwards. That's going to give us this cute little crease and help make a really pretty bow. And I just keep doing that to all of the pieces, and then we'll put our bow together once we have them all finished. You can see I just fold that piece back and cute little crease, and then we'll put them all together, just gluing them together. So I just hold them all in place to start. You can glue them if you like and then tie it. I just hold them all together and then tie it off. I add 3 small pieces of the gold ribbon on top, and then I'll need a long piece of the smaller pink ribbon, and that will be for the middle of the bow. And I just tie that around in a knot. I didn't glue any of this part together yet. Again, if you need to glue those pieces together because it's too hard for you to hold it, go ahead and just glue them all together and then tie your ribbon around it, and it'll look exactly like this. Once you have it all tied together, just fluff out your bow, all your pieces, help it to look nice. When you tie it, sometimes it gets a little bit squished together, so you need to fluff it up a little bit. And there is our bow. Then I had this fun garland for the mini trees that I got last year at Dollar Tree, and they look like snowflakes. So I cut the garland, or the snowflakes off of the garland, and I just glue these little gold snowflakes to the ribbon to help decorate and tie into that pink and gold theme. If you don't have these, that's okay. And like I said, any color will do. You can do red and green would be really pretty. I think this year the red and white theme is very popular. So that would also be really pretty for these large boxes. So now we'll just go ahead and glue our bow to the top. Now don't worry too much about gluing the bow to the top, because I'm not going to have to untie these bows in order to get the battery door out, because like I said, I just tied it around. I'll be able to slip it out, and then I'll be able to slide the battery door back underneath of all the ribbon when I need to change the batteries. So I've got the bow on top. Again, I used a little bit of Gorilla Glue and some of the hot glue to glue the bow down. Okay, so here's what it looks like with the bow on top. And I think I'm going to add a few more pieces, like a gold bell to the middle of the bow. I added some snowy branches to the ends. And here are all 3 boxes completed. I love these so much. My kids are already fighting over them. So now our supplies for our second project today. We'll need a wood box from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use this decorative wood block. Also, we'll need a mini tree topper and 1 bamboo skewer. I'm going to use this rub and buff from Hobby Lobby and those same color ornaments from earlier, hot glue, and scissors. We'll need some ribbon and some string to tie the ribbon. We'll need a paintbrush and some paint. And then I'm going to use some Dollar Tree vinyl, also an LED candle. So let's get crafty. So for this DIY, we're going to take one of these decorative boxes from Dollar Tree. And we're going to decorate that with the rose gold vinyl. This matches the ornament. And I thought it was really pretty to tie in some of that sparkle. So I'm going to wrap the box in that glitter. You don't need to use the vinyl to wrap your box. Of course, you can paint it, stain it, or leave it as is. You could even use a different box. It's really up to you. And you can see I used 1 wood bead and the kitchen's bamboo stick, and I glued that to the top of the box. I actually glued it on first and realized I was going to wrap the box in the vinyl, so I took it off and I ended up gluing it back on once I had it wrapped. But that's what we're going to do here, and I kind of messed up when I was recording. I forgot to record myself gluing it back on once I had the box wrapped, but you get the idea. So all we're doing is wrapping this box like you would like a present. You're going to just fold the ends in, and it's of course adhesive, so it sticks to itself. If you want to add some extra glue, that's up to you. If you're using the vinyl, sometimes it sticks really well, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. So as you can see here, I'm just trimming up the edges and cleaning it up, and then I'll fill in that space on the bottom with just an extra square of the glitter vinyl. Now the very front of the box, it was so decorative, I didn't want to cover that cute little design on the front. It actually really adds to the craft when it's done. I put a little LED candle in there, and then put the top of the box back on. And there's my bamboo stick at the bottom with the bead that will glue to the top. And you can see it glued to the top of the box now. Then we're going to choose some paint that coordinates with our project. And since we're doing the pink and gold, I chose the pink. And we're going to lightly paint the front of the box here. And then I have this stuff it's called Rub and Buff. It adds like some gold accent to the project. And all you do is add a little bit to a paper towel and rub it over top of your project to add a little bit of highlight with that gold color. It's really pretty. It picks up the shape of the wood cutout, which is so decorative. It just really looks pretty and help tie the whole thing together. Now, using that bamboo stick that we glued to the top, we're going to start adding our ornaments. It's about the perfect size to add the ornament toppers on. It just fits, which is nice because then it holds the ornaments in place. Now sometimes as you're putting these on, the ornaments don't want to slide close enough together. So a trick that I found is if it won't slide down far enough, just rotate the ornament to a different spot that's a little bit more open until it will slide down a little bit better, and then slide it back into place. And that usually helps get them a little bit closer together. So I start with the larger ornaments on the bottom. I did about 2 rows of the larger ornaments, 2 rows of the medium, and then a few rows of the small. And we're just going all the way up that stick to the top. We leave some space though for the tree topper. And you want to make sure that you're not putting all the same color ornaments together, so try to rotate or alternate which ones you're putting side by side, so you don't have like all the glitter ones in one spot or all the matte in one area. Try to rotate or alternate between the different ornaments. Sometimes I would mess up and I'd see all the same color next to each other, and I was like, oh, that's right, no, they're all different. So try to spread them out a little bit. So then to fill in some of those spaces, I did use a few of the really small ornaments to fill in where I thought maybe the spaces were a little bit too wide, and I wanted to fill it in just a little bit. So once that's done, we can start filling in some spaces with ribbon, which really helps to add to the decor of this cute little tree. So this one, I just dovetail the ends and then fold it and then tuck it between the ornaments with some hot glue and my scissors. So that's one option. Or you can also just cut small pieces, dovetail the ends, and then tie it with a piece of string and use that to fill in some of the spaces. So I have this really pretty gold ribbon. I kind of was over the glitter on the last ribbon, so I chose this ribbon instead, which also is very pretty. And I just cut some small pieces, I fold it, and then tie it off in the center to create these little bows. And then we'll fill in a few spaces around the tree. Again, trying to make sure that you're alternating between the pink and the gold so that you don't have all of the same color ribbon next to each other. You want to kind of make sure that you're alternating in different spots and keeping the color balanced. And it really helps if you have like a thin pair of scissors or something good you can use to help tuck that ribbon in with the hot glue. Then I had these cute little gemstones I just had for forever, and so I glued a few of those in some of the open spaces just to help give it a little bit more bling and dress it up. So I put a few of those around the tree, and then I had again those small snowflakes, little embellishments that I'm going to glue on some different spots in the tree just to add some more decoration and tie it together with the gift boxes we just made. And again, that's from the mini tree garland that they sell sometimes at Dollar Tree. They had it out last year in gold and silver, and I just had some left over from last year. I'm not sure if they're going to put it out again this year or not. They might. If so, keep your eye out for it because it's really fun to use to decorate with. You don't need it for the garland. You can just cut the snowflakes apart and you have lots of little snowflakes to add embellishments to your projects. And once I have all of the snowflakes on, then we'll start working on the tree topper, which is really fun. I was actually pleasantly surprised with the tree topper. So I bought one that had that buffalo plaid material on it, and I thought that was cute, but that was the only tree topper I had. When I removed the fabric, it was this beautiful tree topper underneath. It had this really pretty decorative design. It was absolutely beautiful. So I just took that rub and buff and put some gold accents to the plastic tree topper without the material on. It was so pretty, and I just thought this was absolutely gorgeous. It like worked out perfectly for this tree. I kind of wonder why they don't just sell it like this because it's really pretty by itself. So I pulled that apart, and then I glue one piece of the tree topper to the front onto the top of that bamboo skewer, that open spot that I left. And I add some more glue to the back and a few dots around the top of the star, and then hold it together until it dries. If you feel like it's going to pop apart, you could take a small piece of ribbon or wire and tie the top together to make sure it doesn't fall apart. But here's all of our projects finished. So here's the light up gifts that we made. This is the extra large box, so that's the 8x10. And then here's our Christmas tree all finished. There's that gorgeous tree topper with the gold, and then we have the pink and gold ornaments and ribbons and some of those large diamond kind of accents with our gold snowflakes. And we have the rhinestones, or those large gemstones, and then our decorative base with that LED candle inside. Looks so pretty with that real flickering like effect. This box here to the right, that's the 5x7 size. You can kind of get an idea of how large that one would be. And then the 4x6, for it being the smallest one, it's still a very nice size box. The 8x10 is just massive. I have 3 of those extra large ornaments the Dollar Tree sells inside of that box, plus a few different packs. So it really took a lot of ornaments to fill it up, but it's so pretty. I wish you guys could see them in person. I hope you enjoyed the color scheme that I chose. I know it's not traditional Christmas, but pink and gold seems to be really popular. I'm seeing it at lots of different stores this year, so I thought I would give it a try. And I like the way they turned out. I think they're really pretty with that color scheme. So thank you guys so very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time. Please, if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up, and share this video so others can see it too. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. Hope y'all have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.